these, or I'm doing a lot of them, or something like that.
No, each time you have them, Judge, I'm scheduled. So it's always a pleasure.
Just the way it works, huh?
Yes, Judge. Judge, the jail informed me that, with your permission, can we go out of sequence and can we do um, Miss Grijalba Gutierrez first, if the court's okay?
That's okay with me as long as we've got an interpreter on the. We do. Um,
And Your Honor, I just confirmed that we actually don't need an interpreter. Uh, I don't know how it says Spanish, but I mean that we
we've
have
got
no problem.
we've got an interpreter, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
¿Usted necesita intérprete o no?
No, gracias.
Okay, no, she said she doesn't.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shayed, and you are.
Lía Grijalva.
An in complaint here charging you with criminal damage. Alleged to have occurred early this. We will appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and does either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
Judge, if the court's inclined to follow the state's recommendation, I have nothing to add. Thank you.
All right, if I'm reading things correctly, this occurred in the vicinity of your residence. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Your next court date is going to be, I'm going to appoint public defender's office to represent you, just in case I didn't already say that. Next court date is going to be October the 27th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You'll be released to the third party custody of pretrial services. You don't drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs. There should be no alcohol in your residence. You're not to go anywhere that alcohol is served or consumed. You're not to have contact with the alleged victims, and you're not to return to the incident location without permission of the property management. Do you understand that?
Say it out loud.
Yes.
You can go back once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. All right, thank you.
And Judge, I believe we go back to misdemeanors now, so
We
can I
do.
come back in just?
You may.
Thank you.
Too many of them, so.
I'll stick around and make sure I'm here on time. Of course.
Is the person on the phone typing or something like that? You need to be muted.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're back.
Yes, Judge. I think they're just bringing the rest of them.
They're not going to they're bringing the misdemeanors in though, not the rest of the felony.
Correct, Your Honor. I just wanted to make sure that's what happened, and in case a felony came up, I wanted to be available.
Okay.
Your Honor, the one that's up next is on their way right now.
Okay. Ms. Thomas,
Hi, Thomas. Okay.
It's not moving very fast.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, we're like this one.
Yeah.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are
And for Nancy Thomas.
Ms. Thomas. I have a citation here charging you with domestic violence assault, domestic violence threats, and resisting arrest alleged to have occurred early this morning. Your next court date is going to be October the 15th at 8:30 in the morning.
I would like to contest these charges, please.
And now I'm just giving you a court date. You need to have a court date is what you need to have.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. October the 15th at 8:30 in the morning, Pima County Justice Court. Conditions of release: no acts of domestic violence, no contact with Mr. Reese. You don't go to his residence or workplace. You can go back there with a law enforcement officer to get your personal belongings. Do you understand that?
So, yes, ma'am. Can I speak to the attorney, please, right here? Faisal?
If he has time, he will not represent you. You're not being appointed an attorney at this time.
That's fine. I just need to retain some camera footage of him beating me up.
That's something you'll have to hire an attorney to take
Okay,
care
I
of.
was told by someone here that I could talk to him, so that's fine.
All right, if he's got a moment to talk to you and is willing to do so, that's fine.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are? It's, microphone's muted, Jail.
Say
Good.
Arash Islami.
Mr. Islami, I have citations charging you with domestic violence assault and domestic violence disorderly conduct, alleged it occurred earlier today in the vicinity of your residence. Your next court date is going to be November the 4th at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court, courtroom number 10. Do you understand that you need to be present at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? You're not to leave the state of Arizona. You're not to commit any acts of domestic violence or violate any laws.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Thank you, Mr. Islami.
Come on back. Lower level. Outside. Yep. Matthew.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Matthew Latimer.
Mr. Latimer. I have quite a stack of files here for you. I have charges from April the 1st of this year for criminal trespass, possession of paraphernalia, and 3 separate counts of failure to appear. I have charges for criminal trespass on April the 6th, 3 counts of failing to appear. Criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, and possession of paraphernalia on May the 8th, along with failures to appear. And that was at the same location as the second incident at 1884 South Craycroft. Charges for criminal trespass and possession of paraphernalia on May the 13th, 5532 East Speedway. Again, with failures to appear. Criminal trespass on May 27th, 5502 East Speedway. Failures to appear. Criminal trespass on June the 3rd, back at 18804 South Craycroft. Failure to appear. Criminal trespass June the 8th, 1884 South Craycroft. Cook Trip. Failing to appear. Criminal trespass, possession of paraphernalia on June the 13th. Failure to appear. That was 5480 East 22nd Street. Possession of paraphernalia on July 27th of this year. Failing to appear in court. Criminal trespass on August the 1st. 1114 South Craycroft. Well, along with a jaywalking charge. Again, failing to appear in court. And then charges from September the 28th. The criminal trespass at 1909 South Craycroft. Same place as the very first charge. Given the number of charges, the number of failures to appear, I'm going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Hold you on a $500 bond. You're not to return to those incident locations. That's 1909 South Craycroft, 1884 South Craycroft, 1114 South Craycroft, 5532 East Speedway, 5502 East Speedway, or 5480 East 22nd Street. No alcohol or illegal drugs. If you post the bond, your court date will be November the 4th at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Tucson City Court. If you had not posted the bond, you'll be seen on October the 14th at about 1:45 on video. Thank you, Mr. Latimer.
Smith.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Miguel Smith Shaka.
Judge Joe St. Louis for Mr. Smith Shaka. Good evening.
Good evening.
did you file a notice of appearance, Mr. St. Louis?
Have not yet, Your Honor. We'll do so tomorrow.
All right. Mr. Fitzjaco, his citation charging you with disorderly conduct alleged to have occurred earlier today in the vicinity of your residence. Your next court hearing in this matter is going to be November the 4th at 1:30
Yes,
in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court. Do you understand you need to be present at that time?
yes, ma'am. November 4th?
That's correct. You're not to leave the state of Arizona. You're not to violate any laws. You're not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, commit any acts of domestic violence, have any contact with Ms. Hunter, go to her residence or workplace. You can, if you were living together, as long as you can go back there once with law enforcement, get your personal belongings. You also need to begin the process of obtaining behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and complying with any recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. St. Louis, I'll note that you may be filing a notice of appearance on this matter.
Yeah. And you're allowing him to go back to his residence. Is that correct, Your Honor?
Not if it's her residence, no.
It's
No,
it's my own apartment. I don't stay with
no,
her.
separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just you
Two
stay away from
separate.
her residence.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I understand.
And Judge, if I can pose, I want to make sure that Mr. Smith Shaka had his mother's phone number. He told pretrial he didn't have it. He's going to contact her to get a Uber home or something. Is there a
Yes,
clerk
sir.
or someone I can talk that to? Do you have that, Miguel?
Do I have what, sir?
Do you have your mom's phone number?
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay. All right.
I do.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you for accommodating me.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we're back with you.
Back, Judge. And we have multiple defendants in the courtroom right now.
Notice that. And usually you bring some in while they've still got misdemeanors in here, but okay.
Yes.
All right. Good evening. I'm Judge Fayette. This is addressed to everyone in the courtroom. This is the time for initial appearances. It's the time for you to be formally advised of charges against you, for me to set conditions of release in your next court date, and with rare exceptions, also to appoint counsel. It is not the time to talk about facts of cases or ask that charges be dismissed. Mr. Babb, you can be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. In fact, I would suggest that you not discuss these matters with anyone except your attorneys. Standard conditions of release include that you violate no laws, that you appear at all court dates, that you remain within the state of Arizona unless you receive permission of the court to leave the state. There may be additional conditions based on your history, your circumstances, and the events that occurred. And you, sir, are
Anthony Cotter.
Mr. Cotter. Interim complaint charging you with third-degree burglary. Alleged to have occurred earlier today. Will appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. And did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
If the court's inclined to follow the state's recommendation, Judge, I have nothing to add. Thank you.
We don't have much paperwork space here, and it got a little tight. Your next court date is going to be October the 15th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You will be released to the third-party custody of pretrial services.
Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
There are two co-defendants.
Okay. Okay, that's what that makes sense. Thank you.
I knew where you were going. I knew why you were confused. Okay. You'll be participate in monitoring and treatment under the supervision of pretrial service that will include no alcohol or illegal drugs, behavioral health assessment, and any recommended treatment, no contact with the alleged victims or your co-defendants except through legal counsel, and you don't return to the incident location.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I would suggest that that you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Cotter.
Yes, you're being released. Yes. I always get it wrong, Judge. The last time with Judge Hale, I got it.
Hmm?
The last time with Judge Hale, I made the same mistake. I better catch up. I've been doing this for a while now.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are.
Rodney Douglas.
Mr. Douglas, I have a warrant here out of Maricopa County charging you with 3 counts of domestic violence aggravated assault alleged to have occurred on or about June the 29th of 2021. Bond on this matter will be $5,000 as requested by Maricopa County. They're requesting a cash-only bond. We'll set a review hearing for November the 5th at 9 a.m. in case they haven't come to pick you up. I expect that they will have come and picked you up well before that. No acts of domestic violence, no contact with any of the alleged victims. You're not to go to any of the victims' residence or workplaces. Right. And if you do post that bond, you'll be under supervision of pretrial services. And again, you're not to leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court. Thank you, Mr. Douglas. And Mr. Charis,
Yes, Your Honor.
on the next matter, you're just dismissing the felony charge, correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. Josh, we're going to end up creating a new file for him.
Yes, then.
Yeah. I'll write in. You'll make a copy of this, just the first page of the inner. Actually, both pages. Good evening, I'm Judge Shad, and you, sir, are
Jack Gaston.
Mr. Gaston. I have a number of things here for you. There were felony charges for possession of paraphernalia. Those are being dismissed without prejudice. Thank you. Yeah, I don't use it. Fine. All right, looks like we've got charges from today for shoplifting. I have charges from September the 8th of last year for criminal trespass and possession of paraphernalia, along with failure to appear. Charges for possession of paraphernalia on September the 9th of last year, failure to appear. Possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drug, November the 4th of last year, failure to appear. Possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drug, November the 18th of last year, failure to appear. Shoplifting, February the 4th of this year, at 555 East Grant. Criminal trespass, possession of paraphernalia on March the 30th of this year, 2446 North Balboa, failing to appear in court. Criminal trespass and possession of paraphernalia on September the 6th of this year, 10 West Fort Lowell. And criminal trespass on August the 8th of this year, again with a failure to appear. That was 1504 West, right? We'll appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond will be $250. If you post the bond, your court date will be November the 5th at 9 a.m. If you haven't posted the bond, you'll be seen on video on October the 14th at 1:45 or sometime later that afternoon. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to go to any of the incident locations. That includes any Walgreens, any Circle K's, 2886 North First, 555 East Grant. 2446 North Balboa, or 1504 West Grant. Right. Thank you, Mr. Gaston.
Yeah.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Mr. Hall,
Mr. Hall, I have a warrant here for you out of Pima County Superior Court, charging you with possession of dangerous drug, possession of paraphernalia, and 16 counts, well, 2 felony counts of criminal damage and 14 misdemeanor counts of criminal damage. These are alleged to occurred on or about the 31st of March. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and that either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions. Noting, I think there is a warrant for failing to appear at sentencing as well.
nothing further from the state, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor. So the failing to appear at sentencing sounds like Mr. Hall pled to a misdemeanor. He's completed probation previously successfully and had his offense designated a misdemeanor. I don't know the status of that misdemeanor warrant, Judge, for failing to, the felony warrant for failing to appear at the misdemeanor sentencing. I guess we'll have an answer once Mr. Hall is transported to Superior Court on that. But I was going to ask for release, but in light of that, Judge, other warrant, I would ask you to consider setting a $500 bond instead of $2,500.
You're talking release.
No, you have a separate case holding you. Superior Court.
Okay. Can I go in and make a new one?
No,
No,
Can I go home?
no, not tonight.
your next
No.
court date is going to be on October the 13th at 1:30 on those matters. October the 13th at 1:30 on those matters that I just went through. Your bond is $2,500. If you post your bond, you'll be entitled under pretrial services. You're not to have contact with the alleged victims, possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to go back to the incident location.
What's the date?
Today's October 5th.
And my court is when?
A week
For
from
Superior?
a week from
13th.
tomorrow.
For Superior Court?
You have 2 cases, sir. Well, I'll explain it to you.
3 cases, but we'll talk
Oh,
about
interesting.
All right, then we also have new misdemeanor charges for possession of paraphernalia.
They poisoned me at a halfway house, just so you know. You motherfuckers are insane.
On the paraphernalia charges,
This shit just doesn't make sense.
I know you're upset, but
It's just not making fucking sense.
I'll explain.
we'll appoint Peter Gutierrez to represent you. Bond will be $50. Court date will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock on the paraphernalia charge. Thank you, Mr. Hall. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Santiago Henderson.
Mr. Henderson, interim complaint charging you with aggravated harassment, and criminal trespass, domestic violence, alleged occurred earlier today. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Does either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
Can I have a brief moment, please, Judge?
You may note he's on release for a misdemeanor charge. Same thing.
Understood, Judge. Judge, we're ready. Your Honor, I understand if the court's not inclined to release Mr. Henderson to pretrial services supervision, we acknowledge he has that city court DV pending with a court hearing in 1 month. But Your Honor, given that this is a non-violent Class 6 felony, we would still ask you to consider setting a bond close to $2,000 as opposed to $7,500. Thank you.
Preliminary hearing is going to be October the 15th at 1:30. Bond will be $5,000. You are not to have any contact with your mother. You're not within 3 blocks of her residence. Do you understand that?
Yes.
It doesn't appear that you've been able to understand that. If you have any personal belongings there, you can go back with a law enforcement officer. Right? Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Jeremiah Johnson.
We appointed the PD on the first co-defendant, so we're not appointing PD on this one. Okay. Mr. Johnson, in a complaint charging you with 3rd-degree burglary. We'll appoint legal defender's office to represent you on these charges. Did either counsel wish to be heard further on condition?
Nothing further, Judge.
Judge, given that the state is asking for a no bond hold, we just ask the court to set a no bond hearing unless the state will stipulate or offer a $25,000 bond. But I understand the request. Thank you.
Right. Preliminary hearing date's October the 15th at 1:30. You'll be held without bond at this time, pending a hearing on October the 10th at 2:30. You're not to have contact with the alleged victims or your co-defendants except through legal counsel. You're not to return to the incident location. Right? Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Judge, Mr. Johnson is wanting to talk to you. I've advised him about the situation and how the state can ask for a no bond hold, but he still wants to talk to you.
Yeah. Pretty simply, just so you understand it, Mr. Johnson, if you're on release for a felony charge, whether that's, because there's a warrant in this, like in this case, or because you posted a bond, or because you've been released to pretrial services, if you are charged, there's an allegation that you've committed another felony charge, then the state has a right under the law to request a no bond.
Okay,
And
I understand.
I'm pretty much obligated to follow that.
Okay, I understand that, Your Honor. There wasn't a failure to appear. I was on the team's line. They hung up on me.
Okay, I
Charged up. I want to be able to explain this because I've got a mother who's at home. I live with my mom. She's 75. She's got multiple sclerosis. She's in advanced stages. I'm her caregiver. I take care of her at the house. There's nobody there with her right now.
okay, I understand that. But even without that warrant, the fact that you were already on release on a charge, even if you had shown up at that hearing.
And I did. I was at the
Right.
hearing.
But even if they acknowledged you on Teams and you had another pending hearing on that matter, the state could ask for a no bond because of that pending charge.
DPD lied to us this afternoon. They said they weren't charging us with anything. I was just there picking up trash. That's all I was doing.
Okay, you don't want to talk about facts of the cases. Okay? All right, thank you, Mr. Johnson.
What happens if
So
something
you see a
happens
judge
to
in
my
5 days, sir. You see a judge in 5
Are you,
days.
when y'all gonna go home and take care of her? Nope.
Nino.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are Martin Nino. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Nino, I have interim complaint charging you with felony charges of trafficking in stolen property, burglary in the 3rd degree, possession of paraphernalia, and a misdemeanor charge of violation of a court order. Will appoint the public defender's office to represent you on these charges. It's my understanding that the victim is on the line and wishes to be heard on conditions of release. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that.
All right, Ms. Nino, are you on the phone? If so,
Yes.
you need,
She's not talking to you.
Sorry about that.
yeah. Yeah. Lorena Nino, are you still there?
Yes, yes, I'm here. My phone was muted.
Okay, right. Did you want to be heard on conditions of release? Not about facts of the case,
Yes,
but just on conditions of
no, conditions of release.
correct.
Yeah, my conditions are best for him to be released, and if he does, please don't come to my home.
All right. Public defender's office is appointed. Anything further with regard to conditions of release?
Not from the state, Judge.
Not from defense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So looks like there were no injuries sustained as part of the incident, Judge. The allegation is that Mr. Nino violated an order of protection. Pretrial services indicates he does not reside with the victim in this case. The last conviction seems to be from 2012. Your Honor, it's been a while since his last felony conviction. Given the totality of all of that, Judge, we would ask the court to consider releasing Mr. Nino, but if the court's not inclined to release him, we ask that the bond be somewhere close to $5,000. Thank you.
Given that this includes a violation of an order, bond is $10,000. Preliminary hearing date October the 15th at 1:30. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, absolutely no contact with your mother.
Okay.
And you don't go back to within three blocks of her residence. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Nina.
Thank you.
And legal advocate for Finenzi, right? Legal advocate for Finenzi. Okay. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Alejandro Ferenzi Jr.
Mr. Finenzi, I have an interim complaint charging you with third-degree burglary and possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint legal advocates to represent you on these charges. Set a preliminary hearing date of October the 15th at 1:30, and did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Nothing to add from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. While we acknowledge that Mr. Finenzi is 6 on 6 on the scales and has 2 or more failures to appear in the last 2 years, we ask the court to consider that all his prior felony convictions are for property offenses or simple possession. In light of that, if the court's not inclined to release Mr. Finenzi tonight, we ask the court to consider setting a bond close to $1,000. Thank you.
Bond will be set at $2,500. If the bond is posted, you'll be distributed for pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs. No contact with alleged victims to your co-defendants except through legal counsel, and you don't return to the incident location. And I also have a misdemeanor file here for you. Additional misdemeanor charges of possession of paraphernalia alleged occurred on September the 12th. Failure to appear on September the 25th. We'll appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. We'll set this for a non-transport review for November the 21st at 9 a.m. If you're still in custody, then the City Public Defender's Office will handle it at that time. If you are out of custody, you need to appear in city court. Do you understand that?
Ma'am.
And again, no alcohol or illegal drugs.
And he was released on the city court matter, Judge?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Patrick?
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Good evening, Judge. My name is Patrick Prendergast.
Mr. Prendergast, entering complaint charging with first-degree trespass, aggravated assault, and second-degree burglary. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. And did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Nothing further from the state.
Judge, I would actually like to be heard on probable cause on the aggravated assault count. That's because the statute requires that the intent to assault must be formed before making the entry. Here, it seems like after the entry was made and Mr. Prendergast was confronted by the victim, that's when the assault occurred. So there is evidence to the contrary that the assault occurred after the entry, and so the intent came after the entry. So I'm asking the court not to find probable cause.
Mr. Terrace.
Yes, Your Honor. Uh, maybe I'm reading the statute differently, but it says that, well, I don't have anything further now.
I think this can be a question of statutory interpretation. Is it the entry has to be made with the intent to commit the assault? Or the entrant has to be made and there has to be intent to commit the assault? An intentional assault as opposed to, not. So I'm going to leave it as it is for now. Anything further?
So, Your Honor, we understand Mr. Prendergast has some criminal history, but looks like he has family support. He has stable employment in funeral preparation. Although mom is not able to offer direct support, he can make it to court and does not have any problem arriving to court during any court dates. Does not seem like he has any failures to appear in the last 2 years, Judge. We have no problem with the court entering orders not to return to the incident location, which will be a standard condition anyway. Given the stable employment and stable residence at this time, Your Honor, we are asking you to consider.
Where do you see stable employment?
So, Your Honor, under the residential/occupational stability section in pretrial services, he works full-time and funeral preparation is what the pretrial services report says.
We don't have any information on that. That may be in Colorado for all we know.
It is called. Okay.
So
just then, I guess that raises an issue as to ties to the community. But Mr. Prendergast is able to make some temporary housing arrangements. I will also give him information about the transition center. He will remain in Tucson, follow all court orders to remain in Arizona. But we are asking for one chance on pretrial services release at this time. Thank you.
considering that he is barely, if actually, off probation on a deferred sentence on similar charges in Colorado, release without something holding him does not seem to be prudent. So preliminary hearing date's October the 15th at 1:30. Bond is $5,000. If you post the bond, you'll be issued in pretrial services. You're not to return to the entire complex there. You can go back once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, you don't leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court. Stay in touch with your attorney, and I'd suggest you not discuss the matter with anyone except your attorney.
Understood, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Prendergast.
Thank you, ma'am.
It ain't in here. Oh. So I got. And I've been fully compliant with my probation.
Great. Is there a current probation hold?
No, Judge.
I'm fully compliant with
Yeah,
probation.
I understand. Yes, this is an old case. I know.
I live at an Oxford house, sober living. I've been there for three months now.
Okay.
Do classes and I hope so.
Yeah, no.
Mr. Sanchez, the interim complaint is charging you with burglary in the second degree and trafficking in stolen property. Alleged to have occurred on or about the 17th of January.
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions.
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
Yes, please, Judge. So at this time, we're asking the court to consider releasing Mr. Sanchez. Firstly, this is, I know the court probably already noticed, this is a charge from January of this year. We understand Mr. Sanchez was placed on probation in
June.
Yeah, yes, after, and then Mr. Sanchez informs me that probation has been going good so far. His probation officer helped him secure 2 jobs. He has stable housing at this time. He explains to me that probation is going smoothly. So Judge, keeping him in custody will just mean he risks losing that job, and he is asking the court to consider releasing him to pretrial services and also an order to report to his probation officer. Are you on IPS?
Yes, I'm on
You're on
IPS. So it's very strict, Your Honor. I go through all my meetings, everything that I need to do.
Yes,
so.
yes. Okay. So, Judge, given that he's already on IPS, I'm sure he has to report this right away and whatnot. And I don't see any petitions to revoke file since he was placed on probation in May of this year. So, in light of all of that, Judge, we are asking you to consider releasing Mr. Sanchez to pretrial services. Thank you. Oh, and one last thing, Judge, it really sounds like this is some sort of a DNA hit. It's burglary in the second degree, although we don't have all those facts in front of us, but I suspect that that's the case. Thank you.
I don't think so, because we've got an identification by the victim. I don't think it's the DNA at all.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't have the warrant. Is this a warrant?
No.
No, it's an interim. Never mind. My bad. I was thinking it was a warrant.
Your Honor, everything is going so good for me right now. I don't have any problem complying with the courts or anything that you asked me to do. I could show up to court doing 5 meetings a week, 3 months in the Oxford house. I'm a strong standing member with the Oxford house. It's a sober living place. I'm doing everything that I can just to stay on the straight and narrow.
We have a victim here. In this there is a victim in this matter. And although I understand this occurred before you went on probation, it still has some cause for concern. So I'll hold you on a bond, but that bond will be $2,500. Pretrial services, if the bond is posted, no contact with the alleged victim. You don't go to the victim's residence or workplace within 3 blocks of her residence. You don't engage in any pawn activity. And again, you need to contact your probation officer upon your release.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Sanchez.
And is that cash or secure?
It is cash or security.
So I can just put up the 10% and a title ring?
And just the PD was, yeah, I think the court already mentioned the PD was appointed.
That's it.
Yeah.